Hello, happy week. Hi, I'm Sally J. Francis from sallyjfrancis.com, the author of the book called Remember Who You Truly Are. And that's for just my new people that are on my page, because there's been quite a few new people that have showed up. I was a teacher. What did I do? Played volleyball for England. Very into the mind, body and the spirit. So I've done all that in my lifetime if you're new and you don't know me. And yeah, my book is out there, Remember Who You Truly Are. It's on Amazon. And it's got, at the moment, like 24 5-star reviews on various Amazon sites at the moment. And I had a training. I'm back. So I had a training in science with biology, but PE, loads of physical education, and I taught in loads of schools. Hi Emilia, hi Christopher, nice to see you. And then I went on and taught tens of thousands of children and coached thousands and thousands of people personally around the world, using my intuition mostly, which I am finding out more about. But I'm very fascinated by the merging of science and spirituality and consciousness, really. Hi Claire, nice to see you. Very interested in all of that. Very interested in the body systems, very interested in what's going on in the world in terms of energy systems. And as you've seen me posting on my page, if you've seen it, there's all kinds of things that are going on in terms of like 5G at the minute, which I'm a biologist trained, so very connected to the earth. I'm very frightened actually about what's going on, really. I don't want to be scaremongering, but I think we should be aware at the moment of all that's going on with this 5G stuff. There is a guy, if you're interested in finding out more, a guy called Dr. Barry Trower, who was working in the military as well. I've learnt a lot as well in the last 24 hours, really, just by watching his videos about what's going on. And I think... So anyway, coming back to my biology, I think the earth and nature is where we should be, and I think anything that disconnects from that and overrides that in terms of humans trying to tamper with that is sending us down a dangerous curve in terms of energy, our bodies, animals, that kind of thing particularly, and that's where I come in. I think the earth is very powerful. We've been here for thousands, millions of years, and the earth has an electrical and magnetic system. We have electrical and magnetic systems in our bodies. The heart is particularly firing, with that. And anything that tampers with that and with our cells and our bodies is setting us up for calamity, I personally think. And I think it's up to everyone, I think, especially now, to kind of look into it a bit more, because the drive now by these technology companies to push out 5G, and what's behind it all is actually, I think, quite frightening. And the way they're being given globally carte blanche just to create things. So governments are signing things off, councils are signing things off, and looking at the evidence, and looking at the World Health Organization website as well. It's worth going and looking at it if you're interested. There's research that's been done on animals, mice and things, but we aren't mice. That's the one thing that, we aren't animals. We aren't these tiny creatures that they give these doses of radiation to, even non-ionizing radiation to. But also what I have found, which I think is very interesting, which watching Dr. Barry Trower made me see, it's not just the dose of something, and this is where I think this is what he's pulling up. Is where this protection kind of, it's safe thing comes in. They might measure a dose, but actually humans don't just have one dose of something. If we have the internet, my phone's cutting out. If we have the internet on, or our phones, for extended lengths of time, and they are near our bodies, says me moving the other way, it's that multiple. It's the length of time we're exposed to these frequencies that I think is the worry, and I think that's what he was highlighting particularly. And I think we've been conditioned just to use we are so dependent on this technology, and I've actually been switching things off, and I felt so much better as well. So I think, I don't know, I don't think it's scaremonger, but I think it's very much, I've been looking into kinds of ways you can protect yourself as well. Even your router, you can get, I posted something just below, and if you look at it, and I'm sure a lot of you maybe are doing this already, but you know, some countries won't even have the wireless for the children in schools. I think it's Sweden. The fact that we've got masts in this country, in schools, nurseries and outside places like that, even like Glastonbury, that horrified me seeing that yesterday. How Glastonbury even had a mast right near a children's playground. And the World Health Organization has stuff up for review at the moment, and their data is old. And many of the, I think there was links to also people that put the research up for the WHO actually have links to telecom as well. So I don't know. I don't feel right about it totally, all of it. I'm not saying that we don't have to have it, but I think. I think I was just talking to someone else about this. When I was growing up, we were in nature. We were out on our bikes. We were out in the woods every holiday. We weren't, because even TV wasn't really around when I was growing up. But we were outside. We were far more physical. And I think the worry for the generations growing up who haven't not seen technology is they're not actually getting outside, actually seeing nature and that kind of thing. And I think we're going to end up in a very virtual world. And I think this is what's happened, really, in the last 10 or 20 years, in that so many people are inside, not looking at the outside world, that we're actually not aware of what's going on with the outside world. And very soon, well, not very soon, 10, 20 years, animals, insects and those kind of things, if all this radiation is, left to be here, there won't be the insects, there won't be the birds, there won't be the, things that the worms, the soil is all changing, everything is changing, and I don't know. I just think we should be really aware of it, really aware of what's going on, far more, and be aware of that and telling our children really as well. So anyway, I'm coming in from a biology stance really, as a biologist, and having knowing about mechanisms in our bodies and that kind of thing, our cells and the microbiome and that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just thought I would say that. It's about, again, I'm not a scaremonger because we are obviously here, but there's far more to all this than meets the eye, and I've spent, that's probably a couple of days actually researching, and I found out so much that even I didn't know about. So there are the Stop 5G campaigns going on, and there are the Facebook pages, and I just wanted to say that. There are some people who are organising groups now as well, and I think the fact even found out the government have signed off this kind of stuff to telecoms and that kind of thing, and they're not responsible. And the fact that Lloyd's won't insure against any, the insurance companies won't even insure against any health damages by EMF or radiation. I mean, there's got to be something in that. Anyway, that's my bit for the world. So what can I contribute today anyway? So I think the other thing that came about it is that we've got to be looking after our own electrical systems in our bodies. And I'm very interested in energy work and the work of Donna Eden. So moving our energy, and I'm interested in acupuncture. So anything that moves our own electrical systems in our bodies and keeps our energy moving. Yeah, hi Christopher. Yeah, Christopher, just there's so much real knowledge underneath the norm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's about questioning everything. It's like, even EU website, I was going on putting stuff out and they were going, ooh, the World Health Organization. Well, most of their data is out of touch, it's done in 4 or 5 years ago anyway. And they're just spouting off the same stuff, but they're not actually looking at the scientists who really kind of know. I think that's the thing. And I think also what's frightening is that government and people in councils don't have the knowledge. This is what really hit me yesterday. They don't have the intellect, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the knowledge of science and how things on a micro level affect the body. They don't have that wisdom. And then they take, we're very much, as humans, we believe the hierarchy. We believe people that have a title, when those people may not even know the truth, about anything. I mean, I've had that experience with doctors. So in this time frame, it's really about questioning everything that you're told. I think that's really what's come up more for me. But even the fact the Guardian have now put a big thing out, so people are getting much more aware. So there are barristers that the people are going to be for. There's a few groups that I'm in. But there are barristers who are going to be looking at some of this too now. But it's you know, it's huge, it's massive, all this is. And the fact, you know, they are cutting the trees down. I looked on Surrey University Innovation for 5G, a paper, and they are cutting down the trees because the waves, the radiation waves will not go through, or the heights of the trees are stopping, you know, the radiation. So, and they are saying this is all for speed. Well, is speed worth it, or is it worth it all if we're going to kill every bloody tree, if we're going to kill every ant, insect, bird, you know, and ultimately ourselves, our food supplies will go. You know, it is frightening that, you know, oh, faster this. Well, yeah, that's great, but when you can't buy food and the insects aren't pollinating things, it's going to affect us on so many levels. And, you know, we should be planting more trees, not these councils pulling down the trees. You know, the air quality will go. Trees, you know, produce oxygen for us, and we need it to survive. You know, when I grew up, I was saying this to someone, when I grew up, there were tree-lined roads everywhere. I grew up in Lime Grove, Poplar Grove, there were tree-lined places everywhere. People should be out planting trees everywhere. It's what purifies the air. And then you just look at the incidence of asthma and people, you know, dying. I mean, I think even something came out about that in London. I hate to be living, I don't live in London, I won't live in London because of the pollution and the smog, but the fact there is no real vegetation really there, very much. So maybe I'm old school, but, you know, with that old school comes the knowledge that, you know, how we used to live. There were no GM foods, we walked everywhere, you know. I do sound old, but I think actually, I think what I'm trying to say is, well, technology is not always progression. I think that's the thing that's hit me. Yeah, absolutely, Christopher. Vive the revolution, more trees. Yeah, I'm a biologist, but I'm a Taurian, so I'm a real earth woman. But the ancient wisdom, and I actually think, and in looking at it, you know, we are killing ourselves in this country, or, you know, health system and everything. The people, you know, indigenous populations in tribes that are around, who are now, if you look at India and other southern places, they are planting billions of trees. These are going to be the places, the so-called Western world, who's meant to be progressive, will be the ones that will die, you know, die out because, you know, we're over-medicated, we're not exercising enough, we're not using our bodies enough, and we're sitting in front of laptops. People that don't have all access to that, all right, some ways their lives are going to be, you know, if you don't have water and that kind of stuff, yeah, it's awful, and sanitation. But, you know, in other ways, the Western world is actually killing itself in terms of the stupidity of so much so-called innovation for technology, when actually there reaches a point where, I mean, I think we've had the speeds of stuff that is okay. You know, telecoms are out to make money. That's all it's about. It's just out to make money, and no responsibility for it. If you actually look up, you know, even your phone and your internet companies, there are warnings about stuff, but you know, people aren't told that. You know, but I think even today the Guardian said, you know, cancer is, and I will tell a tale about this with my ex-husband, who he was on the early mobile phones for 6-8 hours a day, and he developed definite neurological difficulty, and you know, he's been told that that's what he has now. So, and I could see that happening in the early days. I mean, that was way before kind of protection people knew, but anyway, I don't want to bang on about it, but actually, yeah, it really, yesterday, and the rollout of 5G and all that, it just really, and the way, you know, putting on these things to look at everything, like, God, how unreal is all that? And also in terms of your eyes and your eyeballs have radiation receptor cells in them, and with blue light and all looking at computers, you know, for a while, this is damaging our eyes as well. It's very much a thing. I'm looking very much about EMF as well, and you know, these light bulbs that we've got, and blue light and this kind of thing. But, you know, just in the cafe, just seeing babies with like phones near them and stuff like that, you know, I don't know. There's more to all this than meets the eye. And the fact they're going around putting stuff on, like, every, you know, lampposts coming up, and like it would be like every 3 lampposts and under manhole covers and stuff like that. I don't know, it just all seems wrong to me, most of it. I'd go and live in a hut on a world that hasn't got any of this. That's where I'm coming from. Anyway, I don't know why I'm banging on about it, but anyway, it's obviously, I'm feeling it, so I just thought I'd shout it out. So, you know, you take what you want from it, but certainly go and look at, or if you're interested, Barry Trout and some of the things I put on my Facebook as well. And you know, I'm not into conspiracy stuff. I'm into looking at the hard science around stuff as well. Anyway, right, I thought I'd pull some cards. So we're in Gemini. So Gemini energy at the moment is, it is about the intellect, actually. It is about the written word and stuff like that. And even I feel like I can get into the energy, what happens at the time. It's about speaking. Let's have a look. I'm going to pull some cards and just see what else happens. Thanks for staying, Christopher. Lovely to see you. Christopher says, I so wish for change for us all. We kind of need some more radical change towards our utopia. Yeah, well, we're in a time of rebellion at the moment. The planets, I mean, I didn't believe in astrology and all that kind of stuff, actually, but the more I look into it, I'm scientist trained. You know, I wasn't even into spiritual stuff. I was very, you know, 3D world kind of woman, but the more I've kind of looked into stuff, it's, you know, we are energy. We're just energy beings. There's more gaps between the spaces of us, and that's the frightening thing, actually, going back to the raves. We are energy beings ourselves. You know, we are waveform energy in our bodies, and this is what, you know, we're not solid matter in our bodies. That's why these radiation waves will affect us, just like animals. We are part of nature. We exist as part of nature. So anything that tampers with that will tamper with us, effectively. It's just common sense. So I think at the moment we've got the divide between power and money, telecoms, you know, making more money, that kind of stuff, looking at Trump, you know, looking at what's happening in the systems at the minute, Trump coming over, everything's about money, you know. You've got the opposite with the New Zealand Prime Minister. She's saying actually money, the progressive economic system is what will kill the countries, and I totally agree with her. You have to, in a country, you have to take account of everything. You know, care, you know, kindness, care, compassion. We've given no monetary value to that. We've given no monetary value to looking after the earth and trees and plants and that kind of thing. And in patriarchal systems, the power and the money is what, you know, it's defined the economic status of a country. You know, it's what they define as good. But, you know, who writes that rule book around all that? And this is the changing paradigm we're coming into now. So the feminine energy, the kindness, compassion in the men and the women as well, is coming up more to be exposed. But all the things that the corrupt systems are coming out now to be exposed. Thank you, Christopher. I'm obviously tuning into your energy as well here. But so in order to survive, we've got to be thinking beyond the body. We've got to be thinking outside ourselves and our systems, really. But we've got to be very aware of it, you know. Right, I'm going to put... So, yeah, we are in a time of rebellion, which is why we're seeing all the protest marches and stuff. Astrologically, we are in Uranus energy, I think, which goes on now. We're at the start of that. I think the next 7 years or so. So more is going to come up and come out. And you know, we are seeing, and it's only by things coming up, coming out, and being exposed now. So stuff will come up and be exposed. Lots of things will come up now to be exposed. Not even personally, I've seen it even with people. You know, things that aren't sitting right in the world will be exposed. And also energy kind of goes like this, really, as well. So there'll be a kind of levelling of women. Not just women, but feminine energy has been suppressed for so long that we're coming up. It's coming up now more in people. Right, I'm going to pull some cards. Where was I? Let's see what's going forward. So this week, I'm back anyway. So if anybody wants to work with me, coaching, EFT, soul plans, that kind of thing. But we're in a time of massive change at the moment. So you might also be feeling it personally in your life as well. What might work for you last year or year before might not be working going forward. A poor comparison, which is actually what's happening at the moment in the world at the moment. Massive comparison. The two polarities at the moment vying for power. I've got the miser. Okay, I'm going to read that in terms of the miser. Where have you been holding back your energy, not opening your heart? I've been very much looking at the work of like Joe Dispenza as well, like heart meditation, healing heart meditations. Where have you closed your heart down? I think also the fact that telecoms are going to affect the hearts of people and even pacemakers. I think that's maybe why I'm really, banging on about it really. But so where have you closed your heart down? Where are you not opening your heart lately? Where have you been a miser with your thoughts and not in gratitude and that kind of stuff? I can take that probably too as well. We can all, we can all be more open with our energy, be kinder at times. Oh, abundance. Okay. Just having a look at it. It's a great card. So what have we got on it too? Just having a look. So I kind of, this is like connecting with the world too. It's like the Buddha, but where are we abundant? We're abundant with the world when we see the trees, when we see the oceans, when we see the flowers. We can be abundant in every single moment when we focus into that. We've got the moon energy and the sun energy really. So we are powerfully affected by the moon and by the sun. We just had a new moon as well. So focus on abundance, the abundance in your life that's around you already, what you can see, feel, hear already. I love this time of year where all the trees, this is where I'm really annoyed about the trees being chopped down. They are living beings, everything. In fact, Dr. Barry Trow was saying this too, which is what I totally agree with. Everything that has life, animals, trees, plants, insects, we're living beings. We shouldn't be desecrating anything that's living in the world. We should be, abundant with it. So focusing on more abundance of that as well, coming into your life, and abundance in any form. Yeah. Oh, and I'll just show you what happened to me. So I walked into the local supermarket when I do my shopping. I keep being given bunches of flowers just out of the blue. It's so kind of them. But I smile and talk to everyone I'm in there. It's like the universe coming back. Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm going to post a few things on it. I'll send you some links. It's kind of what I know about anyway. Joe Dispenza is very in tune with all the stuff I've done, even like with children. I spent 20 years teaching kids to meditate and connecting back to themselves and going out of themselves. And if I'd filmed that, if I'd filmed that film of that, I wasn't allowed to, but my goodness. They, when you, and we can do this here now. I'm going to do this today actually. I'll maybe do another video in a minute about it. But when you just focus on your hands and you just become, you become more than your body, and you just literally connect back to your inner being really by focusing on your hands. That's what I did with kids for ages. I'll do another post. Maybe later I'll do that actually. I'll do a meditation. How about that? Yeah, maybe I'll do it in a minute. Or later, in a few hours. What are we time here? We're at 4 o'clock. Yeah, maybe 6, 7 or something like that. I'll do it, a meditation, or later, with everybody, anyone that comes on. But anyway, people might see this later, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, suppression. Wow, again, where are we training ourselves? But where are we being trained? What are you suppressing in your life? Who are you suppressing? And actually, even like doing that, it's interesting. I pulled that after that card. When you get out of yourself, out of your body, out of your mind, out of your thinking thoughts, you're way more than who you think you are. So where have you been suppressing yourself? Where have you been shutting down your gifts? Where have you not been expressing the whole totality of who you are in the world? It's you and me, Christopher, at the moment. That's cool, though. Oh, compromise. Okay. Where are you not compromising? Where are you? Oh, even with yourself. So where have you been judging yourself? Even where have you not been? Where have you compromised yourself in terms of anything? Oh, thank you, Christopher. Yeah, you're here, so I'm sure I'm tuning into you. um, yeah, but also compromise. Yeah, I mean, what I get with that as well is like judgment of things. We judge people, things, and stuff. We can judge people very quickly. I've been trying to not do that with people even I meet or I know and stuff like that. Just trying to get out of the judgment of everything. So this is maybe for someone seeing this later. Where may you have to compromise yourself in terms? I'm getting like relationships. In order to have a relationship, you don't have to be right all the time about everything. Yeah, that's the one with that, I think. And also, what comes up with that is that we all exist in a world, a continuum, and where every single person on the planet, every single insect, we're all part of the whole collective energy. So, you know, yin and yang as well. You know, one person couldn't exist without the other. And this is where I also feel technology is skewing all this balance of nature. You know, every single part is needed in the world in order to form the whole. And I think when we tamper with nature, we're tampering with ourselves. God, I'm passionate about this today. Someone's driving me up there, guides maybe. So more awareness coming in at the moment. What am I feeling with that? You may have been stuck in a judgment or a viewpoint around something, and maybe it's time, you know, more awareness, more time to expand your energy out. And also, I do that too. It's really powerful when you get stuck in a thought. Just expand your energy out, and that's kind of what we do with this as well. So, thank you, Christopher. Love you. I think it's amazing what we are around it. I mean, all right, we can connect with the internet, can't we, around the world? But we've got to be so aware of that. My grandmother never even flew on a plane. I mean. But what I remember about my dad, that she's come in here obviously is for a reason, but what I remember about my grandparents and the great families, we all got together all the time. We were like laughing, we were singing, dancing. We were so in community, you know, that kind of thing. And I think that's the danger of the internet as well. You can stop being in community, you can be on yourself, perhaps be on your own. So more awareness coming in around. Yeah, I'm just going to pull up one more. Let's see. Ah, great one to finish on. Look, playfulness. So, yeah, Gemini energy is about bringing playfulness in too at the moment. So being aware of stuff in the world, but also not, you know, joy is what keeps your heart open. Joy and focusing on, you know, where did you shut down your playfulness? Where did you think as an adult you had to be so bloody serious? I'm taking that one. It's okay to play and be like a child. I think that's why I loved children when I was teaching. And every day in the cafe I was talking to the children. It's okay to play and bring the playful energy back as well, around everything, you know. And as I'm saying that, my dad was like that. I'm a medium, I kind of get thoughts in my head which kind of connect me to my father and ancestors all the time. And my father would always say, always look on the bright side, would sing that. So I kind of leave that with you, and perhaps that's what I need to put. I think that's why I did this, is kind of bring a bit more balance into the energy in my page, really. But I will come back and do a meditation more than likely later. That would be good. Thank you, Christopher. So lovely to see you. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody who sees this later. If you care to share it, that would be fabulous. So I'm sallyjfrancis.com. I'm available for coaching and readings and anything that shows up. And I've learnt to get out of my mind when I coach people and into a space where even I don't even know, I never know what shows up. But I've learnt to trust that, really. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, I've been doing the meditation, Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations as well. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. Lots of love. I'll come back later. I ought to say a time, really. What time? Actually, I'm not going to judge because I just go with the energy. So in a few hours' time, I think, but probably 4 or 5 hours' time. Yeah, I'll come back and do like a meditation thing, I think. Take care. Bye for now.